It's 12 a.m. Do you know where your kids are? Forgive my dudeness here. I went to bed as soon as I got home. And woke up around 11 p.m. and got some distressing messages and phone call, and anyways, Scientology came to mind because Scientology, if you haven't figured it out yet, is brainwashing. So when you're when you're a, say, young adult or even a child, you're looking for something to be a part of, or you have no choice but to be part of it, and you adopt these ideas and you learn these truths. For someone who might have mental illness already, boy, are you doing a number on them. So I'm just flipping through the technical dictionary here. Had a little chat with Christy today about watching the Aftermath, and we were talking about the website. I had mentioned I hadn't watched it, and she's like, "Oh, you totally should." I got mixed feelings about it. I've been out since 2014, really, and was on the fence and out, but not public, since 2013. So on the supporters group that I've been posting on quite a bit lately, there's people that I guess who think I just got out. But now the fact is I've been out since I talked to Pierre Etier, class 12, and he pretty much told me that he was archiving the materials of L. Ron Hubbard, similar to the Nuremberg trials, where it could be documented and so that it's never lost and rediscovered and used for the way that it's being used, the way that it is being used. And that finished my doubt formula, which basically was me crumpling my doubt formula up and throwing it in the trash, because why use Scientology? I don't want to be a Scientologist. Just say no. But watching the first episode, meeting some of the other ex-Scientologists, it's clear to me, and from my own experience, it's clear to me that those people that get into Scientology, or who have no choice but to get into Scientology, who may have some sort of mental condition, maybe permanent, maybe not, maybe a mental illness, maybe a mental condition. Well, maybe someone with a mental condition could be could develop into a mental illness as a result of these truths that you learn. When I think of things like circuits and circuit cases, and this just depends on how much you learn, but the circuit case, the auditor will encounter many cases which resolve very rapidly. These account for fully 50% of the people who come to him, but he will also encounter many people whose cases are resistive. I was labeled a resistive case. And he will encounter a small handful who wouldn't let anything happen if the auditor used a shotgun on them. PAB 16. That's Pro Auditor's Bulletin reference. These are classified as circuit cases. So, when you're presented with this information, sorry for blurry camera, then you automatically feel that there's something wrong with you if you're not getting case gain. For those who don't know what that is, case gain is improvements and resurgences of a person's experiences from auditing. Any case betterment according to the PC. And a case is the sum whole pass of bypass charge. Well, here we go. We're on a word chain. Bypass charge. Bypass charge. Auditing by list to help the pre-clear find a bypass charge. The moment the correct bypass charge is found, the pre-clear feels much better. Okay. Bypass charge has a long definition. I don't want to get into a big Scientology word chain. But back to circuit cases. So this is just another way to blame the person who's having the problem for their problem because your cause. This is a perverted version, in my opinion, of some old Eastern wisdom, wherein the idea is don't look at the world in terms of what it did to you and how it abused you and how others abused you. Let go of those feelings and live in love. Right? But you can't do that if the majority of your belief system and the way that you live, your way, the way of living is interspersed with this terminology, or even all encompassing of this philosophy that you're the one that's the problem and you're the one that needs to be fixed. And if you could just find that item in auditing, when someone's having a big problem and they feel some relief, the auditor will indicate that item had bypassed charge. I would like to indicate that there has been some bypass charge on item blah blah blah. And that reinforces this belief. It's mass hypnosis, it's individual hypnosis, it's group hypnosis. And so when Pierre told me that he has this giant library of all the LRH material, I could care less. Good. It's also etched in fucking diamond plates or whatever, some vault somewhere. Those are the copies that I'd be afraid of, because they're hidden away. This information should not be hidden away. It should be freely available. And it should also be, the people who have studied it should do their, in my opinion, do their due diligence. And I believe that everyone has, to the degree at which they study, make sense of it and see it for what it is. And it's just as simple as methods of control. Methods to keep someone so inside their head that they can't make a choice on their own. That's what the brainwashing is for. And when you can't make your own choices and you're reliant upon others to make them for you, you got a long road to hoe. So, if anything, in the last few days have been pretty interbulating. I've been upset the last few days. After watching the first episode of Leah Remini, I knew what it was going to do. It was just, I felt prepared enough, I guess, to watch the first one. And start watching the second one, and I just already, like, no, can't do it. Got to take care of myself. Got to make sure that I'm, stable. And, but I'm glad that I watched the first one, because it's sort of renewed my mission. And what Scientology does to an individual, at this point where I am, I don't really look at that experience as something that was entirely negative now, because what I'm doing about it, regardless of the effect, I know that I'm doing the right thing. However, having been trained in drilled for a short amount of time, but very intense, almost like boot camp. And given the situation, skills, and circumstances that I had and that Steiner saw, it was a it was a calculated thing. And I can't say that I can't say from the viewpoint of, like, live and let live, that that I don't think that it was non-coercive, because it is a coercive activity from the start. The people who are doing the coercion, however, most of the time, do truly believe that they're helping. So it's not necessarily the people. It is just like any other church, you know. And even some of the missions that I went to were not just like churches, you know, like there are some Pentecostal churches that aren't very culty. There are some, at least where I live, there are some Baptist churches that aren't Bible thumping Baptists. There are Catholic churches that aren't oppressive regimes for a small parish. It's unfortunate that the one that I go to that is closest to me, I go there simply to see what this priest is telling these people. It's horrible stuff. The congregation has just been leaving in droves. But I do have a mind to tell the guy, you know, what the hell are you talking about up there? You know, not preaching love. He's not talking about love. He's talking about sinning and death. You know, wages of sin is death. Listen, I didn't go to theology school. I'm not qualified to make those kind of statements to a priest. I'm aware of that. However, I will, as a parishioner, having studied the Bible in Catholic school, and my own personal belief that everything that you need is right in here. And when you're able to sort of tap into yourself, things seem to be better. I swear. This piece of garbage, which I only have because my mission, is yet just another thing to keep you in your head and keep you from thinking, and can justify all manner of horrible, despicable acts on the basis of these bulletins, executive orders, pro auditors bulletins. What do you do? You go on YouTube and make a video about it, I guess. So I just had to vent a little bit. I don't like seeing people suffer, and I especially can't stand it whenever L. Ron Hubbard's work shows up in front of your face in all of its what it makes me think of is Dante's Inferno and William Blake's paintings of the Inferno, because these are the kind of faces people make when they're experiencing this just horrible, soul-wrenching pain. So, the end.